People say they're scared to fly with this airline.
Mainly because they fly over Russia and they think the price is too good to be true.
But for £200, it's a risk I'm willing to take.
We are now approaching Gatwick Airport.
It's 10:32. My gate number is appearing at 10:40. So I've got 8 minutes.
Which is the perfect amount of time to do my favourite thing ever, spraying perfumes I can't afford. And so once I was done smelling like the perfume aisle at Selfridges, I made my way over to the board to check my gate number. Sorry, I find it so funny when they beat people out the way. Anyway, it was gate 55.
Let's go.
They gave me a middle seat. I tried to check in yesterday. It wasn't having it. And the whole site was in Chinese, which didn't help. Now, not only is this my first time flying with China Eastern Airlines, but also my first time in China. I'm not gonna lie, I've not heard great reviews about this airline. When I was reading reviews, lots of people said China Eastern lost their luggage. They also say the food and the customer service is really bad. But for £200, as long as they get me to Shanghai safely, they could literally smack me as I enter the plane and give me no food, and I still wouldn't complain. Hi.
Hi. Okay, this one, please.
Thank you.
Hi.
Now, for my fellow plane geeks, this was a Boeing 777-300ER. The interior really reminded me of Etihad's, which is one of my favourite airlines. This is their business class with 52 flatbed seats in a 1-to-1 layout. They also have first class at the front with 6 private suites. Now, unfortunately, you and I are going to seat 32B in economy. The seats are in a 343 configuration, and I actually thought it was pretty spacious. It is 11:42. And we are gonna be leaving soon. So far, I don't think the airline's that bad. I think it's completely fine. We're 1 row away from the exit seat. Planes make me so oily. I don't know what it is. It's just as soon as I get on the plane, it's just oil. But yeah, the flight is 10 hours 38. Even just the thought of this flight made me exhausted. Something interesting about the screens on this plane was that I couldn't navigate the map myself. I was like, is this thing on? It was on, but unfortunately you can't move the map yourself as it moves automatically, which I did not love. We're pushing back now, getting ready to take off. Have you noticed the fact that I'm not in the middle seat? The guy next to me asked if we could swap so he could sit next to his partner, and I said absolutely. But yeah, I decided to do some quick Googling before we took off. Takeoff was really smooth, but what was really strange was that we had to stay seated for a long time. The seatbelt sign didn't turn off until like 30 minutes into the flight. Maybe it's a one-off, maybe it's a China Eastern thing. Not sure which one. Anyway, once they did stand up, they came around to give us some headphones. These were the basic ones that you obviously plug into the screen. Then shortly after, the drinks trolley came out. This was around 50 minutes after takeoff, so I was actually really impressed that the drinks came out so early. And of course, you know what comes after the drinks? The food. The options were chicken noodles or beef and rice, and I chose chicken noodles, and I actually don't know why I did that. I think because I knew I was gonna have a lot of rice in Shanghai, so I wanted something different. It came with this interesting ham, sweet corn, pasta thing, some raspberry yogurt as well, orange juice, my favorite, all butter shortbread fingers, and some random butter. There was nothing to eat the butter with, so that was strange. There was no bread, no crackers, nothing. Anyway, first impression of these noodles were not positive at all, but let's try it. I'm not gonna lie, when I opened it, I had instant regret. I wish I got the beef, but it is what it is. I don't have high hopes for this. It's really sticky. All right, cheers. It's actually not bad. Is it amazing? No. But is it awful? No. I'm also one of those weird people that really likes plain food. Like, I actually look forward to it. I'll give it a 5. A 5. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 6, 7 pieces of chicken in it. I'm gonna try this interesting ham, pasta. It's actually not bad. It's not bad. It's just really random. Why is there just like a big thingy of ham and then the rest is like four pastas? I'll eat it though. You know what they say about beggars? Can't be choosers. This is hardly giving someone that's a beggar, seeing as I literally ate the whole thing. And then proceeded to switch back to the noodles that I swore I didn't like. I'm trying my new
Mooty. Oh, sorry. Cheers. How can I forget? How rude of me. I like it. It's very neutral. There's nothing to hate about it, but I really like it.
And then something crazy happened after I finished my food.
The bread.
Yes, thank you.
So the butter wasn't random. It was meant to be eaten with bread. So if that was the case, why did they wait so long to give me the bread? And now it's too late. I already ate the butter with the shortbread fingers. Yes, I know my arteries are screaming, but I didn't want to see the lure pack go to waste. So I had to eat the plain bread, and I'm not gonna lie, it actually wasn't that bad. Now, not long after lunch, they decided to dim the lights in the cabin. I'm one of those lucky people that can sleep anywhere on command, like I just close my eyes and I'm asleep. But to be honest, on planes, I find it very difficult and very uncomfortable. I was actually hoping the plane wouldn't be so full so that I could sit somewhere where I could stretch my legs, but no luck. I will say the leg room on this plane was pretty fair. For some reason, I just couldn't sleep, so I decided to see what country we were flying over, and lo and behold, it was Russia. Many countries' airlines have been banned from using Russian airspace, however, China Eastern is not one of them. This is actually how China Eastern have been able to maintain a competitive advantage and keep their prices low. Not flying through Russia means longer flights and more fuel, meaning that other airlines cannot offer the same prices that China Eastern can. Understandably, many people do not want to fly over Russia due to the ongoing conflict with Ukraine and the potential for mistakenly shooting down innocent passenger planes. I woke up from my N1 nap and honestly felt worse than having not slept at all. It was now 3:35 in the UK, so we'd been flying for around 3.5 hours. But it felt like we'd been flying for 10. This was a perfect time to use my aisle seat privilege to get some blood pumping through my veins. Is it just me that goes to the bathroom to go and stretch? Sometimes I do it where the exit row is, but I don't really like people staring at me whilst I'm doing it. The bathrooms were pretty standard, but there is one thing that was wrong with them. How can there be no soap? We're not even halfway through the flight, so it's impossible that everyone used the soap. But then to my right, I saw this clear jelly type of liquid in this container, and I thought it was hand sanitizer, but it was actually lathering, so I was like, I'm gonna say it's hand wash. There was no hand lotion, unfortunately. And as usual, only hand towels, no hand dryers. Anyway, I headed back to seat 32B, and less than an hour afterwards, they actually started serving food. The options this time were chicken or pork, and because I got chicken last time, I got pork. I also decided to watch an in-flight movie whilst having my dinner. One of the complaints about China Eastern Airlines is that they don't have a good range of movies for non-Chinese speakers. Whilst flicking through, I could definitely see there wasn't a wide range of non-Mandarin movies. But to be honest, that didn't really bother me. And it was a perfect opportunity to watch a Chinese film for the very first time. I watched this film called Promise of Decades, and it was set in Macau, which I'm actually headed to afterwards, so I was pretty excited about that. I used the standard 2-prong headphones that airlines usually give out, but what I don't like about them is the bubble earbuds. I find them so uncomfortable. So this was the pork. It came with rice and vegetables. It also came with a snack pot of prawn pasta, Kit Kat for dessert, and another random butter, which I'm going to save this time.
It's definitely giving more vegetables than it is pork, but what do you expect? Okay. Bare knuckle teeth.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
I don't love it. I like the rice though. It's just plain rice. But in terms of the actual pork, not really. I'll still eat it though.
I think it goes without saying I was one of those kids that ate all their meals at school.
I don't think I've ever had prawns on a plane. That's nice. I would have this as my main instead of the pork. I think overall the chicken noodles are better than the pork, but in terms of a meal, I think because this has the Kit Kat, I'm sold on this one more, and the prawn pasta. But yeah, I don't know why people are complaining about this airline. I don't think it's that bad.
And with only 42 minutes until landing, I was feeling pretty well fed and pretty well rested. Soon after, the air hostesses came round with the Chinese arrival card. You can actually fill this in online within 24 hours of arrival on the National Immigration Administration website. I completely forgot, so I'm so glad they handed it out. Then they used that stick thing to make sure all the overhead luggage is closed. Well, at least I think that's why they do it. Air cabin crew, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Anyway, we finally started our descent. I kind of wish we landed just a little bit after sunrise because I would love to see what Shanghai looks like in the daylight. Now, did we land on time or not?
5:26 and we have just landed in Shanghai.
So overall, China Eastern, would I fly with them again? Absolutely. They didn't lose my luggage, thank God. I think they gave us a good amount of food considering the flight duration. I definitely was not left hungry. I would rate the meals a 7 out of 10, with 10 being the best airplane food, not normal food, obviously. And then people complain about the bad customer service on China Eastern Airlines, but I personally did not experience that. In fact, I thought they were really nice. And finally, if the reason why you don't want to fly with them is because you're scared about flying over Russia, honestly, don't be. The chances of something happening to you are so rare, so please do not let that be the reason why you don't fly with China Eastern Airlines. But yes, that is it. I hope you found this helpful, and if you have flown with China Eastern Airlines before, please do let me know in the comments what your experiences were. And if you liked this video and would like to see more of everything I got up to on this trip, don't forget to like and subscribe.